All right, we have Dave Arhar in the house, and I got to tell you, after all the times of talking about you, I told Richard we haven't interviewed yet. So guess what?
Not yet.
Gem City. How many times is this for you?
3. It's 3. Yeah, this is my 3rd appearance.
And what appeals about it to you?
It's. I mean, I don't want to say it's my favorite show, but it is. Well, for me, it's it symbolizes what this is all about. Why we do this and why we're here. It's more people are interested at this show than any other show I've been to. There's more people interacting with each other. There's it's a brotherhood of creators, and everybody is really psyched about everybody else's stuff, and it feels like family. It's a great show. I mean,
the one common theme that we keep getting is the more of the appeal to the smaller creators and the artists.
Right.
And actually, I've actually had some people say about this that they like the one-day cons instead of the long, drawn-out.
I prefer them myself. I mean, yeah, because for a lot of people, there's the travel time involved, where they have to stay, and it costs a lot. The tables are reasonable. I mean, the tables are far beyond reasonable, but it's all the other things that come with the gas, and so one day, and it's just so much packed into that one show. You don't really need a second day. I mean, it'd be great. You really don't need it.
So now this is the part that you get that you can just brag about yourself a little bit. I'm going to ask you first. What's the latest Dave Arhar projects right now?
Right now, I'm working on Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein, 36 Craven Street.
Wait. Get a load of that right
there. It is, and it's basically it's what if Benjamin Franklin had created a monster as opposed to Victor Frankenstein. So that's what we're working on now. It's an ash can now, but it's not just a preview ash can. It's in and of itself is its own story, and hopefully a graphic novels will be out by the end of the year. Also a little
breakdown.
Yeah. Uncle Samson and the Phantom's Lost Liberty.
Do I have that?
Yeah, right there.
Here.
Which is right there. Yeah, that's my superhero book. That'll be hopefully out at the end of the year too. And I did a little bit called Jor Elvis, which is sort of just a little tongue-in-cheek thing, a Cleveland thing, the connection, from the birthplace of rock and roll and the world's first superhero. I just kind of took that idea and just kind of, meshed it together. And older projects, which, issues will probably be out the following year. Gothic Romance is my anthology of tragic love. The Faustians is a support group for people who have sold their soul to the devil. Issue 2 will be coming out hopefully next year.
And I can vouch that reading Gothic Romance and the Faustians, if that is your niche, you will enjoy them. So I could personally say, because I know that when we talked about your writing in another one of our podcasts when we reviewed your book, one of the things I noticed was, it's very cerebral. It's a very well thought, and I've noticed that comic people today, not to be insulting to comic people, sometimes they don't want that.
Right.
It's a little too much work.
Yeah. I like a good action book myself. And hopefully U.S. Pole, Uncle Samson, when that comes out, that'll fill that niche that I don't have at this time. But yeah, I've always preferred things that are a little bit more thinking man's kind of projects and stuff. So I mean it's nice to hear people say that it is kind of an intellectual book, like Faustian's Gothic Romance. I mean,
and it's amazing that people can suffer because of that, because some people just don't like to do that, to read that.
Yeah, well, what I like is that I seem to get, there's a pretty good amount of.
There's always one in the house.
I got a rocket.
There is always one in the house.
We'll edit this out, right?
Oh
anyway.
My God. bud. You owe me money.
Turn the camera on him. He's a star.
I'm sorry. But you know what? One question I did want to ask you that I've never asked you before is, why the ash can?
Well, because it's easy to make, cheap, and you can just, you can get the idea out there, to an audience without having to invest all the time and money into a comic right away. Not that I don't really put anything out to test the water, so to speak. It's really not what I do, but just to get the idea out there. Because like Faustians, when I came up with the idea, I really thought, wow, this is really important, and I need to do it before somebody else comes up with something similar. So it was like the ash can, get it out quick. Get it out quick, and just get it out in the general public so people know, okay, it was my idea. Because good ideas when they come, you gotta roll with it right when it happens.
I never would have thought of that. I never would have thought about that, doing an ash can, because I've seen some people that they appeal to ash can. They like ash cans. I know a lot that don't. But that makes perfect sense if you want to get an idea out, get it out there like that, and then you can follow up with the actual book or whatever.
Right. Yeah. With like Frankenstein, we did try something different. What we did was we decided that what we would do is just show bits and pieces of possible points of the story, and it jumps all around, and then give little explanations on those scenes instead of just doing a straight up, okay, this is what you're, buy this for $1 and then you're gonna, buy it again later. It's kind of unique in its own way. Yeah, and it's just easy to get the idea out there. Fold a piece of paper in half, 5 pieces, that's 10 pages or whatever, or et cetera, staple it, and it's you're good. You've got the idea out there, and people, it doesn't cost a lot of money. People throw $1 down, and
that's it.
Yeah, that's but I see, going into this, I didn't realize that ash cans really weren't out there anymore. Right. I didn't realize that was something that was kind of, I don't want to say passé, but in the past, it's like, so yeah, just like when I was when I was 14, nobody ever told me, no, you can't do an independent superhero book. Nobody buys that, because that, I didn't know that.
Those independent people.
Yeah, and because I've always believed that, hey, I'm not going to say I could do it better than anybody else, but it's like, I think, some of the things I've got going are just as good as, what I'm seeing in the comic shop. So I'm rolling with it, man. I love superheroes,
My last question, since this is my first interview with you,
yeah,
per se.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I will say this: what do you see yourself in 5 years, or what do you hope to see in 5 years?
More comics, more number 2s and 3s and 4s, and here and at more shows. I hope to do this for the rest of my life, and I'd be happy if it was all I did. That's all I really want to do. That's what I think I was put here to do, and that's what I do.
Translation again. I want to get paid. I want to get paid to do this all the time.
Paid is nice. Maybe, somebody wants to comp me a table here or there. That'd be nice too. That helps out a lot, But
well, listen, Dave, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes for this, man. I really enjoy it. So, hey, enjoy the day. All right.
Mike here, and I'm with comic book writer Dara Nagari. Your work on the prequel for Terminator Salvation actually made the New York Times bestseller list for 3 weeks in a row, so
yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
You've done a lot of licensed work, but one of the books I had to talk to you about was the Ghostbusters Tainted Love. Great story. I got to compliment you. I love it.
Thank you.
Where did you come up with the idea of doing a Ghostbusters story with the romantic story in it?
It was actually kind of a cold pitch out of the blue. I saw that they did a Christmas special last year. So I emailed Chris Ryle at IDW and I said, hey, I've got an idea for another holiday themed one. And the next holiday coming up was Valentine's Day. So I'm like, yeah, about a Valentine's issue.
I loved it a lot because I love that you focused on, Winston, who, for me has always been like the heart, the Ghostbuster. And it seemed fitting that, he was the one that got the romantic story in it.
Right. Yeah, I like the characters that are underutilized, and Winston definitely in both of the movies. He doesn't get a lot of screen time. He doesn't get a lot of lines. But I find his character really interesting. So I thought to do the comic, it's a single issue. It's a done in one story. So I wanted to focus on him and be about him and have him, really deliver the resolution at the end of the book too. So.
Well, you are Columbus native.
Yep.
And I wanted to ask you about Panel.
Yeah. Panel started out, I want to say about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, 12 years ago. It's basically it's a collection of writers and artists. We all live in Columbus, and we get together every other week or so, and everybody brings whatever they're working on, and we do comments and critiques and help each other out. And then out of that group kind of grew this idea of an anthology, which we do a whole bunch of these books that we self-publish, and we do 2 a year. We pick a theme for each one. Everybody contributes to the book. We try to package the books to match the theme. So we have a little passport-sized travel book, and we did a music issue that's in a record sleeve. So it's just a lot of fun to do.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, before I go, get you to sign my book for me?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.